session is on redox equations, and this will be our first basic session, basics number 1. And I think the best place to start with is a very general, interesting equation where you react oxygen with copper. Copper is Cu, and if you look up the oxidation number of copper, you will find is you don't need to look it up because every element's oxidation number is 0. Copper is a solid, it's an orange-brown substance. If you react it with oxygen gas and a moderately high temperature, you will get a black substance called copper 2 oxide. Now, copper 2 is used in the stock system for nomenclature. The oxidation, therefore, would be the same as the ion. Change the sign, +2, and oxygen is -2. And here the oxidation number of oxygen is 0. And now, a redox equation is an equation that involves reduction and oxidation. Oxidation we will define as the loss of electrons. Loss of electrons is oxidation. Happens to be called Leo. So if we look at this equation, we see that copper has gone from a 0 to a +2. Now, +2, that doesn't mean it gained something. It means it started off as a neutral atom, protons equals electrons. Can't change the nucleus. And you lost 2 electrons. You're deficient 2 electrons. +2 means deficient. So the electrons we place as a product. They came out of the equation. We lost them. They're on the product side. That is loss of electrons. That's oxidation. The oxidation happened because of oxygen. And let's see what we have with oxygen. Oxygen became oxide ions, so we'll write the oxidation number as -2. And they gained negatives. Here each one gained 2. So the total gain is 4 electrons. That's called reduction. So the gain of electrons is reduction. And you may have heard this before. The memory device is Leo the lion says grr. Loss of electrons is oxidation. Gain of electrons is reduction. Now it's a misnomer, gaining and losing, because really it's an exchange. Notice you gained 4 and you lost 2. Well, that's impossible. You have to follow the law of conservation of matter. So we're going to have to multiply this whole top equation by 2, so we have 4 electrons lost and 4 gained. Now, with that in mind, we could come back here and put the coefficients in this equation. 2 copper here, 2 copper ions. You have oxidation and you have reduction. Now let's talk about the agent here. The substance that caused the oxidation is, surprise, surprise, oxygen. So oxygen in this case is called the oxidizing agent. Now, why do we call it that? Because it caused oxidation. So that's true. Copper, therefore, caused reduction. It caused oxygen to gain electrons. So copper is a reducing agent. Now, this substance went from the orange color, and we'll brush this in here, see if we can get you to remember. It started off orange and it ended up just a little bit there, black, copper oxide. Now let's look at the reverse process. If you start off with copper oxide, and you have to say it's copper 2 oxide, and if you react it with hydrogen gas, you will get, and you have to have heat here, you're going to get copper metal and water vapor. Look at the equation. The copper has gone from +2 to a 0. It gained electrons. That's called reduction. Now, another way to remember reduction is the oxidation number increases. In reduction, the reduction process, the oxidation number decreases. So the other half of the reaction is hydrogen, causes reduction. Hydrogen is a great reducing agent. The hydrogen became 2 hydrogen plus 1s, and it lost 2 electrons. So we have 2 equations, the same thing reversed, where copper has been oxidized in the first one, and copper oxide has been reduced to get copper in the second one. And these are 2 very neat equations. Copper oxide is black, the copper is shiny. If you need to review oxidation numbers, you could go back to oxidation numbers, but this is our very beginning, and we will spend a number of sessions on this whole idea of redox equations, and we'll stop right there.